everybody, Morgan with Event Answer here, and today I'm going to share with you 3 tips that I've learned over the years on how to decorate a space most effectively for a party. So let's get right into those tips. My first tip is to create a focal point area in your space. So most people aren't going to remember every detail of your party. As much love and as affection you have poured into that party, most people don't remember all the little things. So what you want to do is create one focal point. Focus your energies on one area, whether that's a dessert table, a head table, or a photo op opportunity, or maybe even a wow entrance. You want to create one space that's over the top, and everything else will kind of fall into place. So whether you're in a living room like I am here, or a general venue that maybe isn't the most inherently beautiful, you can use this tactic in any of these locations, and it will draw people's eye to that focal point, and they'll forget about all the other things around the room. A good example of this tip is a party that I recently threw for a couple. They had done a destination wedding and wanted to come back and have a simple reception with friends and family who couldn't attend that destination. So in this large space, this was a shelter at a local park, and I made the dessert table the focal point. So I created a huge, really tall floral arrangement in the center of the table, and that's what drew people's eye into the room. So they came into the door, they signed a guest book, and then they could immediately see this focal point. And that's where I put most of the decorating efforts. So tablecloths and floral arrangements and coordinating items into that. And it had visual height and texture, and that's what drew people's attention and made it a real wow statement for this space. Tip number 2. Focus your creative energies on places where people are going to gather. So you've got first off, your wow space. The second tip is all the little details and the things that you've poured your heart into that are meaningful to the party or the person that you're celebrating. Put those things where people are going to be closest. So whether that's high top tables where people are going to share a drink, whether that's at a table where people are going to sit and share a meal and they can appreciate the centerpiece or the little calligraphy pieces that you've made that are endearing for them. So don't worry about trying to put all your little details all over the room, because they'll get lost and people won't see them. So put them where people are going to be close and intimate with those items, and then that's where they're going to make the most impact. So back to the same venue. I created a lot of small floral arrangements and these paper leaves, which you can check out in another video I'll have linked below on how I made these arrangements, but I used these where people were going to gather. Tip number 3, camouflage eyesores. So you can't camouflage everything. You know, we don't want to put up pipe and drape around the entire room to try and make it look magical. But what we can do is kind of mitigate a few areas that might cause the most eyesores. I would say this was a very standard venue. It wasn't some mansion, it wasn't a high-class ballroom or a swanky rooftop venue. You know, this is something that you and I, everyday people, would use. And with that comes a few eyesores. So there's trash cans, there's restrooms, it's just plain walls, and then you've got the kitchen. So I had to focus on how to camouflage the kitchen, and a really easy way to do that was to take a couple pieces of foam core. Now I took 2 30 by 40 pieces of foam core and cut it down the middle so that they were 30 inches tall by 20 inches wide, and then right where I had made that cut, went back over it with some clear packing tape and basically created a folding screen. And this was great. This blocked the eye line into the kitchen where we were actively preparing food and refilling drinks and didn't want all that visual clutter in the venue. So we put up this screen, and then I put floral arrangements in front of it, and it was also a place where people could pick up their silverware and the sauces for their meal. This just created a nice distraction from the rest of the venue. Now there are a few things that I couldn't camouflage. I had to leave the trash cans out there, and I didn't feel like it was worth the effort to try and camouflage them. They were bright yellow, which they just were. But it wasn't worth the effort to try and get black stretch trash can covers to try and spruce them up. Pick the things that are going to make the most impact and camouflage those, and then don't worry about the rest. A lot of thought goes into party planning, and these are just a couple tips to help you along the way to use your efforts in the most effective way to create a wonderful event. So I hope that you'll take these tips and use them at your next event. Let me know in the comments below. I'm doing a series on Party Planning 101. Do you have any questions that you would like answered about how to plan a party? I'd love to answer those for you. So let me know in the comments below, and we'll see you in a future video. Bye!